Can't. All right, you guys. Thank you all so much for jumping on. So we're super excited. So this is a new, I was just explaining to Jill, this is just a new group that we've kind of put together, and we're hoping if we see a lot of good things happening out of this group that we're going to kind of continue this forward, but we're just trying this for like a 3-week period just to see what happens. So I am super, super excited. So there were a group of us leaders that kind of came together and we're talking about different trainings, and we all came back from Summit, and one of our favorite parts of Summit was a panel, and Miss Jill was one of our favorite speakers that we listened to. And we just felt like you had so many good things to say and so many things that resonated with so many of us that were sitting together, and you just speak so well. And so we wanted you to be our first speaker to kind of kick off this group. And so I was just explaining you guys to Jill kind of what this group was formed from. So some of you that are Xia execs that maybe are working your way back to that rank, or are wanting to rank advance beyond Xia exec, or if you are working to build a Xia executive team, you are part of this group as well. So very, very excited that you all jumped on. And just to give you a little brief background of Jill. Jill is an orthopedic PA. She is married. She lives in Minnesota. She's a Packers fan. Boo. No, just kidding. And she has 2 children. And what I kind of asked Jill to talk about today is, I know sometimes, especially right now, kind of what we're all kind of dealing with in our business. It's just weird times, and some of us may feel stuck, or some of us may feel like that momentum or that engagement is hard to bring to our teams right now. And I just wanted Jill to kind of share with us her journey and kind of what she's done to kind of shift her mindset and move past some of that, and what she did to take herself from a senior director all the way to a double Xia executive in 6 months time frame. So Jill, I am just going to turn it over to you. And then at the end, you guys, if you guys have any questions for Jill, we can open it up. But Jill, thank you again so much for joining us and spending your time with us tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited, you guys. So I love talking about the business. I could talk about it all day, every day. Like, I love it. I do work full time as an orthopedic PA as well. So I am busy, right? Like super, super busy. And so I really feel like we can all do this in different pockets of time. And so if you missed what I talked about at Summit, I really got to this point in my business that I literally was going to quit. Like I was done, like stick a fork in me, like done. This was not fulfilling. This was not fun. This is not what I signed up for. This was nothing like I expected. And what I really felt when I first started the business, I was so excited. It was so fun. Like I was energized by it. I was filled up by it. And then it got to this burnout. It got to this stuck. It got to this frustration. People were quitting my team. And I was like, what is going on? These people were selling $2,000-$3,000 a month consistently. And they were just quitting out of seemingly nowhere. I'd message them. They're like, it's just not fun anymore. And I'm like, what is the deal? Right? Like, what is going on? And so the biggest changes that I started to make was that I started to take my business from a very transactional business. So very results focused. Like I lived and died by leaderboards. I lived and died by promos. And that is what I projected on my team too. And so like they were good or bad based on that as well. And so that grit, that grind, that pressure was like always there. New month, gotta go. What do we got? What are our numbers? Like we gotta push. And it was exhausting. Like it was absolutely exhausting. And so I felt this constant pressure. It's a numbers game, right? Like I was told by my upline, it's a numbers game. You gotta get the numbers. You just gotta get the numbers. Like, and they were telling me like, oh, just like do this, do that. That way more people on your team buy. And I'm like, yeah, but like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't feel good to me. Like, I don't get it. And so I started to transition and learn more about what a transformational business was. And so this was so much more growth oriented, so much more change oriented. Not that we didn't do like results, like results were still important, but results told us how many people we were helping, right? They didn't tell us how good we are as a person. It's a big difference, right? Like we still had goals, we still pushed for things, but how we pushed for them were different. How we pushed for them didn't define our value. What defined our value was who we were helping. That was a big difference. It's a big difference than I got to chase this promo. I got to find this worth. I got to do all these things. And it changed everything, right? Like the desire to help others, the desire to really define who I was trying to help. Who was I trying to help? Like, who was I trying to help with my product? Who was I trying to help with my business? And which bucket fit best for them, not for me. It's different. It's a lot different. And that changed that loyalty, retention. Like I didn't have to worry about the bucket coming out anymore. I didn't have to fill it up as fast as everything was leaving anymore because they were all staying. Because they knew where their worth was coming from, right? Like, so that transactional business that I had, it didn't happen overnight. Like I didn't like all of a sudden like, hey, I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and this is all the things that I'm gonna do. Like I still was very transactional when I first started, like this transition. Like I still had that base of a very transactional business. And don't get me wrong, transactional businesses work. They work, but realize that the grit, the pressure, that doesn't go away. So if that doesn't feel good to you, that is the transition that you need to make. You have to make a more transformational business that's going to be built on loyalty, stability, longevity, right? And so that transition is very different. The goals are very different. Both of them work. Both models work. So to be perfectly clear, both models will work. I just believe that the grit, the grind has to always be there in a transactional model. And in a transformational model, that's going to be a little bit different. Okay. And so that's going to be that longevity, that retention, that true time freedom that we're looking for. That's where it's at. It's in a transformational business. Now, it's not easy. So that all sounds good to everybody. They're like, yeah, I want that. That's me. Okay, yeah, it is until you start hearing the rest of the things I got to say. And then all of a sudden, it's like, maybe that isn't for me. Because you're going to be like, ooh, I do that. Ooh, I do that. Ooh, I do that. Okay. So like at first, I know they're like, oh yeah, sign me up for a transformational business. I feel that in my heart and soul, like that is me. And then I'm gonna start talking to you and be like, oh no, I don't believe anything this lady's got to say. Never mind, I'm out. Because it's not that easy. It's really not, because it really starts with you. It starts with you and who you need to be, right? Like who you need to be. Okay. So it's really easy to say, oh, the market this, inflation that, gas prices this, oh, so-and-so on my team doesn't want to work. No, you're the problem. Like you're the problem. Like you're the reason why people are thinking like that. You're the reason why people are acting like that. Like regain that control of your business, regain that control of your life. Like your kids act like shitty kids because you're acting like a shitty person. Like it comes down to that. Like when you scream at them because they spilled the milk, like that's why they act like that. Like, and so start realizing that you have control over these things. I'm not saying that bad thing doesn't happen. I'm not saying that there aren't shitty people on your team. I'm not saying any of that. But realize how you react to that and how you project that onto yourself is what you end up giving out. And so it's so important for us to regain that control, that we're not a victim here. We are not, that no one else is controlling our business but us. And so we make our choices and other people make their choices, and all we can do is provide. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink. And it's my job as a leader to lead them to the water. And it's my job as a leader to challenge them and say, is that true though? Like, is that really how it is? That's my job. And if you're not doing that, that's what's missing, right? That's the challenge. That's the uncomfortable that you have to get past. Like, that's the uncomfortable for them to be that next level of themselves to really perform in their business. And so I challenge us to all say, like, gosh, like, am I doing that? Am I doing enough? Am I getting uncomfortable enough? Because if we're not uncomfortable in our businesses, we're by definition stuck. You are stuck in your business. If you're comfortable with everything you're doing right now, you're not doing anything right now that's uncomfortable. Get comfy right where you are, because you ain't going nowhere. Because you're always going to have what you've always had if you're doing what you're always doing. Like, and I might say a lot of things tonight that you don't like. I don't care, because I want you guys to be successful. I believe in abundance. I believe there's unlimited doubles I executives. There's unlimited presidentials that are allowed. And as our business is expanding, who says we can't have more? Who says there's a limit to that? The only one that says it is you. Like, that is the only person that says that. So you need to regain control, that no one's in control but you. Like, you control your thoughts, you can control your actions, you control how you run your business, how uncomfortable you're getting. That comes down to you. So you need to stop. The excuses need to stop. Doesn't mean, like I said, doesn't mean shitty things don't happen, but still, what can we learn? How can we grow? How do we move past that? What do I take from this? There's always a lesson. There's always a lesson or the result you want. Both are great. Both are exactly what you need, because you either get the result, you get, what you wanted, or you get the lesson you needed to become the next version of yourself, to ultimately learn what you need to learn, so that way you can get to that next level. Like, I'm not elite right now simply because I'm just not the person I need to be yet. Like, it's really that simple. Like, it doesn't mean I'm not on my way. Doesn't mean I'm not doing my stuff. I'm just not who I need to be yet. That's okay. Like, look at how far I've gone. Like, I've gone from senior director, executive, Xi exec, double Xia. Like, I've grown that far. Who says I can't grow to the next level? The only one that says that is me. All I need is time. Like, I know I'm on my way. I know that I'm going to get there. Like, it might not be tomorrow, but as we rank advance in this company, it's not going to be that quick anymore. It's not going to be these massive jumps that we're going to see. And so we really need to take control and ownership, and really start looking at anything that we say, like, oh, making those excuses for. Okay, like, what can I learn from that? How can I grow from that? What's next for me? Like, how do I become better? Not what she did, not what she said, not what my upline did. None of that. None of that. Doesn't matter. Okay. So some of the big changes that I started to make in my personal business when I transitioned from that transactional to that transformational approach, was some things that probably you guys don't want to hear, and probably some things that a lot of you don't coach on your team. So I stopped in the transformational approach. We don't devalue what we have. So I don't run sales and promos. I do none. I do Small Business Saturday. That is my sale and promo for the year. That is my one transactional thing that I do for the year. Otherwise, I really don't do BOGOs, no sales and promos. If you want a deal on a discount, I got one for you. It's called a party. Okay. And because that's how that's going to grow my network. That's how I'm going to grow my warm market. When I started this business, I didn't know what IG meant, you guys. I had no idea what IG meant. literally my upline messaged me. She's like, are you on IG? I said, what's IG? She said, it's Instagram. Oh yeah, I think I got one of those. Like, that's literally what I said to her. I had no idea. Like, literally, when I started this business, I could scroll a new news feed, you guys. I'd never been in an MLM, wasn't on really social media at all, like at all. Like, I started from the ground floor, knew nothing. Nothing. I didn't know how to tag people. One of my uplines said, hey, Jill, you know, if you put an @ sign and then you type their name, you'll tag them. I'm like, that's really useful. Thank you. Like, I literally, you guys, I knew nothing about social media, about network marketing. I literally had never bought anything from a network marketer when I started, besides my one pair of Light and Tights. But I didn't even buy them. I sent my friend a picture of my credit card and I said, buy me the black pair. Like, that's literally how this started. And so, like, I am not kidding you when I say like that warm market is something everybody can do. You don't have to wait till you have a social media following of 20,000 people. That takes 5 years and you've already been in 3 network marketing companies. You don't need that. Like, that's great if you have that. That's awesome. Like, what an advantage. But you don't need that to be successful in this business. And so it really, I got rid of all sales and promos. So I stopped all of it. I had people on my VIP page. I was the sales and promos queen. I was selling $20,000 a month. Like, I was the BOGO queen, but I was eating all my profits, giving it away, or giving all my parties away to make nothing on it, basically. I didn't sign up for that. And I was so burnt out. I was spending more time on spreadsheets and managing stock because I was like, oh, like that BOGO, like now that item's out of stock, like in their size, what am I going to do to use my party reward? Like, who wants to spend time on that? How fulfilling is that? That's not where fulfillment comes from. That's not where joy comes from. Joy comes from helping people. Like, so I got rid of it, trashed it. It went away. No mystery hostess, none of that shit. Gone. People in my VIP group were like, what's the next promo? I said, they're gone. They're gone. We're not doing them anymore. If you would like a discount, I can give you a better discount than my discount, and it's called a party reward. That's how I buy. So if you want that, I'm here for it. If you don't, that's cool. And I stuck to it. And there were some people that left and they went to other people that do the sales and promos. But that's what a transactional person will do, right? Because that's not loyalty. But the people that loved me and were like, I just really like Jill. She's really cool. Like, I connect with her. You know what? They stayed. They paid full price anyways. And the people that didn't want to do parties all of a sudden wanted to do parties. Because I said that our product was worth it. Then I did the same thing with repping. You know why my reps were quitting? You know why my reps were, after 3 months, not doing anything? You know why I had people that signed up and half of them wouldn't do anything? You know why I have a team of less than 400 people right now and we still hit rank? Because we value this opportunity. That's right there. Because we value it. And I've sold them on the value of the opportunity and not on a discount. And so when I recruited the wrong people, that's why they were leaving. I sold them so I could get a promo. It was selfish. I sold them so I could get stuff. That's what happened. And that's why they signed on. And I took some of my best customers that this was not a good fit for, and I forced them into the business. And now they don't buy. And they sit there in my back office with zeros. And that I did that. And I own it. And that was the transition that I made. Like, I started to sell people on what the opportunity was. And if the opportunity wasn't a good fit, that's fine. I'll just do a party every 4 to 6 months for you. Let's get you some free shit. Like, let's do it. Like, I love it. Like, I loved them where they were at, not what I needed them for. It's a big difference. It's a huge difference. And no longer did I have this pressure on my business, this stuck in my business, and this like pulling people along, and this salesiness that I had. And so I got rid of that. And so like I just had honest conversations with people. Like, if they brought up the discount to me as why they wanted to sign up, I said, do you want to sign up for the discount, or are you just scared that maybe you'll fail? Because that's how I felt. I'm just honest with them. And if they say, no, I really just want a discount, I don't have any desire to do anything with the business, great. I have a great solution for you. Let's set up a party every 4 to 6 months. We'll get you tons of free shit. Let's do it. And if they said, you're right, I'm scared, I got you, I can help you, we got this. Right? And so I asked those next set of questions to find out why they felt that way. Like, was that really what they were looking for? Or did they see the opportunity with the business and they're like, like, I'm too nervous, I'm gonna fail, or I'm not gonna be good at this, or I don't know anything about social media. Yeah, girl, me too. Like, I get you. Like, and so I just had that conversation with them to say, like, that's cool. Like, I want to help you however you want this opportunity. I have lots of opportunities with this business. I have a VIP group that's active and fun and, positive. I have, products that are going to make you feel wonderful and confident. I have a business opportunity that's going to, provide for your family and give you some other opportunities that you wouldn't have otherwise. Like, really panning down what each of those things mean to me, and then being able to fit them what works best for other people. What is the best fit for them, and being able to ask questions that will fit them in the right box for them, not the right box for me. And that was a huge change in my fulfillment. This didn't become a job anymore. I didn't feel like it was painful to message people anymore. I didn't feel like I had to check boxes. People weren't boxes anymore. They weren't like a list of people that I had to like check off to report out. Like, they were people. I felt fulfilled. I felt like I was helping them. I felt like I was meeting them where they were at. They felt acknowledged and accepted. They were now referring people to me. They were now, more interactive on so much of my social media feeds, building up my business. And so just because it didn't fit for them right now, or it didn't fit for them, that specific opportunity, didn't mean there wasn't a way that we were going to still collaborate together. So some of the things that I started doing on a team level, so on a team level, switching from this very transactional business to a transformational business, was that I started to value my own time. So I did not value my time when I started at all. I would give it to anyone for anything. I was desperate for my business to grow. I was desperate for everything. And I had no value of my time and no value for my family. None. Like, whatever it took. The more time, the more grit. I am somebody that I'm like all in. I'm 1,000 miles an hour all the time. And I run myself into the ground. And so I started to value my time. So I started to look at people's actions rather than their words. Their actions showed me their true intentions. And so, yes, if I asked everybody on here who wants $1 million, everybody would raise their hand. But when I tell you what it takes to get to $1 million, well, maybe I'm out. Like, maybe never mind, that's not for me, right? And so all of a sudden, yeah, like, that's okay, great. Like, let's do this together. I'm super excited. Here's your first challenge. How'd it go? I didn't do it. Oh, okay. Like, were you scared about it? Were you nervous about it? What happened with it? What's holding you back? I just didn't have time this week. Okay, like, when are we going to have time? Like, let's do it. I'm super excited. I want to build this business with you. So it didn't really work out this week either. Okay, like, at some point, I'm not going to drag this person. Like, I'm going to run and I'm going to keep running and I'm willing to help you. I'm going to put you on my back for a little while, but eventually you got to start running too. Like, I can't drag you. And that's what I did early in my business. That's why people left, is because if I wasn't running their business, they didn't have a business, because I was doing everything and I was dragging myself into the dirt and exhausting myself. Like, I did it to myself because I didn't value me. I didn't value my time. I didn't value my family. And so everything that I do, I say, like, that's time that I can spend with my kids, or that's time that I can spend on my business. And both are a priority, but how am I going to manage this, right? And how is that person having equality in how I'm valuing that? My business, are they having equality? That doesn't mean they have to have the same, like, grit and grind and all that is me. It doesn't mean that. Like, are they trying? Like, I mean, I'm just asking for effort, like action, like to be able to talk about it, to work through it, to do something, anything. Like, do your first live. Like, I'm not telling you to, like, that you need to message 25 people today, like something little, like, and then do they do it? And then do we challenge them on it and say, like, and say something about it, like, hey, I know you really wanted X, Y, and Z. I'd love to help you get to that, but this is the next step for us. Let's do it together. What's stopping you? What's limiting you? Like, let's help. And what do we get back from that? And so I started to really pay attention to people's actions. The next thing that I did was I started to teach people how to fish, and I stopped giving them fish. And so often I, and I coach so many of the other girls on my team. Why'd you tag her in that? She's like, well, what do you mean? Why did I tag her back? She wanted information about it. I said, how's she going to find it again? How's she going to find it if in 3 hours from now she has 52 notifications? How's she going to find it when she signs up her first rep? Well, I don't know. Well, then you didn't teach her how to fish. Like, teach her how to search the team page. Like, you didn't teach her how to do it. You didn't empower her. Like, she doesn't know how to do it. She's going to be like, oh, I need Jill. Like, when I sign up my first rep, I'm going to need Jill to do that because I don't know how to find it. Like, everything that we do, we should say, like, how do I find it? How do I figure that out? And that's what we should be teaching people. It takes a little bit more time, though. It does. It takes a little bit more time, but then you start to empower other people. You're not just giving them the answers. So how do I get that answer? How do I find that? Like, somebody will ask, how do I find a 34B in a bomber bra? Like, what size would they be? I literally show them in the marketing page, 34B, push search. That's how you do it. And you look it up. That's how you do it. Because not only can they now look up a bra, they can look up peak joggers. They can look up light and tights. They can look up everything. So you don't get an answer from me. I'm going to teach you how to do it, but then you're going to go do it. And I messaged them back like, hey, did you find it? Were you able to find the answer you were looking for? Like, I'm still going to follow up. I still care about them, but I care about them being able to empower themselves. I care about them to feel confident themselves in their own business. I don't need them anymore to fill up me to say I'm a good leader. I don't need them to fill up me to need me to prove to myself that I'm enough. Because I choose today that I'm enough. And I choose every day that I'm enough. Doesn't mean I'm not growing. Doesn't mean I'm not where I need to be right now. That doesn't mean that at all. But I want other people to feel like that too. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel confident that they can find the answers in their business, even to these really simple things that we all know so well. And so I stopped teaching and I started coaching. So that was a huge difference in my business, is to start coaching people. The next thing that I did was I automated a lot of things. So I automated, I delegated, and I eliminated. And so I took out the things that were time sucks, that were not valuable in my business, so I could spend it with my family. Period. I delegated a lot of things. So I took other leaders on my team that could use some leadership, and I started giving them tasks to do on our team page. I started giving them tasks to do in general. And so I started delegating things, and then I started automating things. So we have a whole library on our team page of commonly asked questions: how to close a party, how to search the marketing page, how to look up a gift card, how to search a gift card. I mean, there's endless, there's probably 50 videos. And I just made those slowly over time. When somebody asked that question when they were new and they asked it multiple times, I made a video for it. I was sick of doing the screen record of my whole phone to like show people that. I just made it. And then now I say, go to the announcements. Did you check the announcements? It's in the announcements. I don't know how many times I say that a week, a day. I send that in a chat. Like, it's in the announcements. It's this circled yellow one. You go to that and you watch the video and it walks you through it. And so I started to automate so many things, so that way I could really spend the time where I needed to spend the time, and I could help people how I needed help. And I wasn't answering these questions that really didn't need me. That I wasn't helping. I wasn't uplifting people. I wasn't like, come on, like, I know you can do this. Like, why is that limiting you? Like, and really get those deep conversations with the people on my team. And so I really started to work through that with people. I would say the single most important thing that I did on our team that probably got me our team to double Zaya was I started implementing WAM groups, weekly accountability meetings. These spots were earned. These spots were not given. They were not given, very common question. They were not given based, I didn't care what line you were. Do you want to do the work or don't you? Like, are you proving with your actions that you're willing to be challenged? You're willing to grow. You want to grow. You want to help other people. You want to do those things. Then they went into what is now our weekly accountability meeting. So I've done these for the last, I don't know, 2.5 years or so. And so we have weekly meetings that have qualifications for them to be able to attend. They go in 90-day cycles. You earn a spot every 90 days. We report out numbers every week. It is known that if it's not a reason for me to miss, it's not a reason for them to miss. So that's equal respect of my time, because I'm going to 2 a week. And so that's what it is. And if that's a great fit for you, great. If it's not, great. But I'm going to have equal respect of the time that I want to pour into you guys, because I know how to run the business. I know how to sell a lot of stuff. I know how to sign people up. Like, I already know how to do that. And so I want to pour that knowledge on you. I want to challenge you guys. I want to help you every single week. I want you to have access to me, to ask questions, to collaborate together, to challenge each other. And so I just ask for that in return. I always tell them it's like going to the dentist. I don't know about you guys, but the week before the dentist, I'm flossing like a motherfucker. And so I floss more than I floss my whole damn life. And that is the same thing that I look at these accountability meetings. Like, when you know it's coming, you're going to do the shit on the week that you don't want to do the shit. And that is the point. I don't want to be your boss. I don't care what numbers. That's your problem. It's really not mine. But I know that accountability works, right? Like, I know that when I go to the dentist for the, 2 months before, all of a sudden, like, I got a dentist, I saw the notification on my phone, like, I got to get going. Like, I know I'm going to get in trouble. Like, right? Like, the dentist ain't my dad. Like, but it's the same thing with these meetings. Like, and that's what I tell them when they join. I'm like, I don't really care what you do, but if all this does is gets you to care a little bit on a week that you would do nothing otherwise, we've won. We've absolutely won. because it keeps us consistent. It holds us both accountable each week. And so these weekly accountability meetings are literally one of the biggest things that I've done. The other thing is not stopped growing myself. So I think we get into micromanaging mode, and that's not business growth activities. So our business growth activities are our own personal business. Those always come first. And then the team stuff is after that. And so I can't stop my own business and micromanage people unless I have the time for that during the week. And I do schedule that time, and that is important. That doesn't mean that it's not important to me. But continuing to grow that is huge. And so I want to save some time. I have a couple more notes, but I want to save some time because I do want some questions, and I'm already 7 minutes over. So I've already failed. So I want to ask some questions. I saw some in here. How long, where did it go? How long did you do promos and sales before you stopped? So my first 8 months, I was sales and promos queen. So I did everything, BOGOs, everything till the end of time. And literally got to the point, and this is typical of a transactional business, that the sales and promos, just like Kohl's, right? Like everybody, you all heard of Kohl's stores, like discount stores, like who would go there without a coupon? Freaking nobody, like in their right mind. Like they've created a very transactional business. Like now you don't go without a coupon. So there's really it's not really even a sale. Like it's always a coupon, right? Like, and that's what I created on my VIP group. It was always a sale and discount, and nobody would buy. And then my sales and discounts weren't enough. So then I was like, I'm gonna wait till the next one, because this one's only shipping. Like I want the BOGO. So then it was so it just kept and then that promo wasn't enough. And that promo wasn't enough, right? And so a legging challenge would never freaking work on my VIP group anymore. Like sell 10 leggings and I'll raffle off a free pair. Never gonna freaking work. It wasn't good enough because I had so many other sales and promos that were better. So that wasn't good enough. So those stopped working. And they didn't want to do parties. So it was probably about 8 months that I was doing lots of sales and promos. Can I move in? Can you move to my house? We have an extra room. Sure. I mean, I'm willing to relocate. Is it warmer wherever you are, Robin? Because if it's warmer, I'm in.
She's in Iowa, so no, not really.
I mean, it's a little bit warmer.
Maybe.
I'm willing to risk it.
Oh my gosh, Jill, seriously, I feel like I just want to reach through this computer and grab you. That was so what I swear. I don't know about anybody else, but I so needed to hear that, because I feel like that's part of the issue is we are so transactional that we lose ourselves in that. And God, everything you were saying was just totally speaking to me. I was like, yes, 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 yes. So good. So I want to open it up, you guys. I know that some of you chatted over here, but did any of you have any questions for Jill before we let her get back to her family? Anybody have anything at all? Please feel free to unmute, or now's your chance to ask.
Hey, Jill. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Jill. I don't even know what to say. I'm so in awe, love all of it. But I have a question. So in the area that I live in, and I know I have a lot of, oh shoot, can you hear me?
Yep.
Am I frozen?
Nope. You're
Okay.
good now.
Yes. Okay, you can hear me? It's weird over here. But I know I have leaders here in this call as well, and they probably or may have the same question. When you were running all your promos and all of that kind of stuff, I know a lot of us here in this really dense area of Zaya reps with big businesses, we get caught up in it and we don't like it. And it feels competitive, and it doesn't feel super awesome. And so when you decided to make that switch. How was that in your area? Are you the only one in that area? I mean, how, I'm just wondering how that goes, because I honestly would love to do no promos, no deals, because I don't like to do them, but it's really hard in a competitive market. And I don't know, I know a lot of gals are on here that may be thinking the same thing.
Yep. And so I have probably 5 people within a mile of me, and probably 20 in my town that sell Zaya. Some of them are on my team, some are them are not. But honestly, the people that were loyal to me and that I've built a relationship with stayed. They did parties with me instead. I mean,
Awesome.
because the parties were good. And so I had done a decent job, I feel like, with some of the relationships that I've built and had some decent conversations with those people. One that I think of in particular, like I followed up with her regularly about some of the medical issues that she'd been having, and just checking in with her, just like being a human. And so I feel like I honestly didn't see much struggle. The people that left were going to leave anyways. And so it was what it was. And so those people were never going to stay with me transformational anyways. They were going to go and find their next deal. They didn't care about me. And so they left. Okay, great. I found lots of other people that did vibe with it, that did decide to have parties that wouldn't have otherwise, that grew my business. And so I didn't see much change in my volumes overall. That I still was doing good. I mean, I've sold almost 300,000 myself since I've started. So I still have really good sales. Like I didn't see much trend. It was just that I had now loyal people, that they weren't going to go to the next sale and promo. They were going to buy from me full price anyways. Or they were going to do a party with me. And now they were reaching out to me for the parties. I wasn't reaching out to them, because I wasn't this desperate person that needed the parties. Like, hey, like if you feel guilty about spending cash on yourself, if you need, a discount, like I can help you with that, because that's why I do them. If you don't and you want to pay full price, great, good for you. Like then pay full price. But my promo was not going to keep them around because they were bouncing around everybody anyways. And so I
True.
built
And
a
that's what happens. So I
relationship.
think it's a lot of people wonder that because there are a lot of really dense areas, and we don't want to compete with each other. To be honest, we want our customers to be loyal with one. So just thought I'd ask, but yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Yep. And I really think it comes down to you wrapping your head around what that means. Because if you stop the promos, you start thinking, oh, like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have anybody that's going to buy. Who am I going to have to do the parties? And, we get into this scarcity and fear mindset that we're just like scrambling all over, and it's doom and destruction and negativity and all these things. And it's just not true. It's just not true. That's not what happens. You build connections, you build relationships, you build trust with people that lasts, that isn't transactional. Because right now, the only reason I hate to break to you guys, but the only reason they're staying is because you got a deal. Like you don't really have a relationship with them. And so that's hard to hear. And I had lots of people that left, that they don't buy from me. That's cool. Like, because I'm not looking for someone that's going to go that quick. I'm looking for people that love Jill Jensen, that just think I'm a cool person, that like me, that are going to buy from me, because I'm selling my brand, and my brand is me. My brand's not Zaya, and your brand is you. And people are going to buy from you. That's what makes us different than Lululemon. That's what makes us different than all those other things. So we need to own that. And that means that some people might leave. But sometimes people have to leave for the real people to come to the surface and the real people to allow you to love them like they need to be loved, or join your team, or have a party, or so many other things. And it will grow your business. I know it.
Awesome. 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 Anybody else? Jamie, did you have a question?
That was essentially my question, but I did have another one for your weekly or your weekly accountability meetings. You said you do them in a 90-day cycle. Are they always the same group? So do you keep the same group together and start another 90-day cycle? Or when you say they were earned, like they earned their spot, how did they earn their spot?
So what it's different now. So the things that, and this is some of the bullet points that I didn't get to that I wanted to talk about, but so the things that I've kind of learned from doing them is that I really need to look at people's actions and not their words. I really need to manage my own mind around who deserves to be in the group and who I want to be in the group, because those are different people. And the group is very dependent on me managing my mind, and people that are deserving of those spots and those things coming together to be one. Because I have had groups that haven't been great. And that was really, I did that to myself. When I look back at it, it was my problem. I didn't read between the lines, and I didn't follow an objective point of view. It was desperation, it was scarcity, it was fear that I was following. And so really, those groups now are different than when I first started. So how I did it when I first started is that they had a one-on-one meeting with me, and all these invitations should be a one-on-one meeting. You should meet with that person, explain the expectations of the meeting, explain what the meeting is going to entail, explain that it's this 90-day cycle, explain the expectations of it's, I value my time, I value your time, and we're going to have equal respect for that. And so like, if it's a reason for me to miss, it's a reason for you to miss. If your kid falls and breaks their arm, I get it. Like, go take care of your kid. But if you got a, headache or, your tummy hurts, then listen with an iPod in your ear. You don't even have to talk during the meeting. The least you can do is listen. Like, I have to actually show up and talk and interact and coach people. Like, you can't put an earbud in and listen. Like, no, not good enough. Like, I'm sorry. Like I value me. I value my time. I value what I've learned too much for your tummy ache. Like, it's one thing if you're shitting on the toilet, I get it. Like, forget it. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, that's different. But, I had so many people that were like, oh, my tummy this week, no, I'm done with it. Like, I'm done with it. Then this isn't the group for you, which is fine. We have other resources on our team page that are going to fit great for you. And we got them to the appropriate resources for what they needed in their business. Again, not what I needed them for in my business, what they needed them for their business. And so we got them to the appropriate things. So how I do it now is I run a moonshot group. So a moonshot group on our team page doesn't necessarily mean just started in the business. It is a business basics group. So I almost run a test group to see, they don't know that they're basically getting pre-screened for our WHAM meetings, but that's basically what I'm doing. And so I run a 4-week challenge group that we go over some business basics. So we go through, parties, party asks, rep asks, and a mindset week. And so we have 4 weeks that we go through. They have challenges and podcasts every week. We have a separate chat group and we go through it together. We meet once a week on a Zoom to go through the week's challenges, to talk about it, how they feel about it, all those kind of things. And then ultimately how I do it now is the people that actually complete those tasks and the people that can do it for 4 weeks, those are the people that I individually meet to give the expectations of the larger group. And then they can earn a spot into that group. I advertise that freely on my team page. So I advertise both moonshot groups and WHAM groups. And I have people message me, how do I get into the WAM group? You go through a moonshot group. I have people that don't qualify for my moonshot group either. I have minimum qualifications for that as well. We run Focus 40s that I've delegated to girls on my team. They're actually running one right now on my team page that they do team trainings. And so they do all the team trainings once a week for me. And those are all the people that are, pre moonshot group or pre WAM group. And so that is open to anyone on the team. It gives my other upcoming leaders a chance to coach, a chance to, engage with other people on the team, even though they might not have a huge team yet. They get to coach in that way. So all those girls are WAM girls, are my accountability girls that are in coaching those things. And then it gives me more time for myself and my family. And so it's a win-win for both of us. So I use a moonshot group to funnel into my WAM groups from what I've learned from putting the wrong people in the group. And then those WAM group people ultimately stick around, and then they select people within that group run the team trainings on Wednesday nights for our team.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
What else you guys got?
Anybody else? All right, Jill, seriously, I cannot thank you enough for this. This was seriously, it was exactly what I know so many of these girls needed to hear. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty. And we all adore you. I have so many texts that have said, oh my God, she is awesome. She is freaking awesome. I love her. I love her. So you are great. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining tonight.
Oh, so there is one question in here.
Oh,
It says, do you still do gift card giveaways in your parties that you do? And so, I do not do a gift card giveaway in my parties, except, so everything that I choose to do transactionally is very targeted. And so the one thing that I choose to do transactionally in my parties is they're going to join my VIP group and my Instagram. If they do that, I'll give them a gift card. If they don't, I won't. Anything that I do that's transactional is specifically targeted to grow my business, to grow my network. If it does not grow my business, it does not grow my network, it is strictly out. So that is literally the only transactional thing I will do in a party. That is the only gift card that I will give away in a party, is joining my VIP group, and then they only have till the end of the party to use it. So that is literally it for me. The gift card, I do $5 for my VIP and $5 for Instagram. So I do a $10. Some of the girls on our team do less. They do, $5 for joining both, but it's whatever the reps are kind of comfortable with. You could do free shipping. You could do a drawing with it instead, join, and then, because a lot of the reps, maybe they don't make a lot of money and stuff yet. So like, I empathize with that. So like, maybe they could just do it for a drawing for everybody that made it. So kind of making accommodating for our teams, so that way they still have that contact. So
awesome.
So, oh, my Instagram handle. Yeah, because I know that. So it's Jill if you look up Jill Jensen, you'll find a picture of me, but it's Jill _ Mike _ get active. So
you're going to have like 30 new requests.
Well, perfect. Reach out if you guys have any questions. Like I said, I'm obsessed with talking about the business. I'm obsessed with everything about it. I'm obsessed with being transformational. It has literally changed my life, you guys. Like, I am a better mom because I can manage my mind and I'm not a psychopath. So I used to think that I was like in control. Like I was a control freak, but really I was out of control, you guys. I was completely out of control and I didn't even know it because I really couldn't manage it all. Like I had to have my hands in everything to be able to feel like I was in control. And really it was always my problem. It always came down to me. And I was, and when I started to do some of this work personally, it has been one of the most freeing, life-changing things that I've done. I think my family loves me like 20,000 times more than they ever have, even though they wouldn't have got rid of me otherwise. But like, I can just like, I have so much more ease, you guys. And so really working through some of these things and working on yourself will change your business. It will change your life. It will change your family's life. You will feel the most free and really in control that you've ever felt in your life. So thank you so much, guys. Like I said, reach
One
out,
more thing,
whatever.
I just want to give props to Jill really quick. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Really quick, because she definitely comes from a servant place and it has a servant heart. There is a gal in our lineage, Brittany Bregelman's on here too, but I know Ann Johnson knows you, Jill, and she asked to join one of your WHAM groups. And you were like, absolutely, like 100% joined. She absolutely loved it. So thank you. I mean, she's not even in your lineage and you were very welcoming to her. So that just speaks volumes to me.
Yeah, so I mean, I have taken a number of girls that aren't on my team into WHAM groups, and if they're excited and they're energized about the business, like that provides enough value to the other girls in the group that who am I to say? So I mean, I've actually have I have somebody that runs our Focus 40 meetings that's not on my team, and her whole team's on our team page.
Wow. So someone said, commented, Lexi, you need to start a podcast. So Jill, that should be your next transformational step you're gonna do.
I know, and part of this is if I didn't have a full-time job, you guys, I can't even tell you, I have the start of a book that is sitting next to me. I have chapters outlined out. I have like so many things that I want to do. Like if I could quit my job today, I 110% would, and would just coach and like do this all day long, you guys. I'm not lying to you. Like there is nothing that fills me up and gets my fire lighted than like talking about this stuff and sharing and all that. So yes, maybe a podcast. Have you seen my husband and I speak it all together? We've gone around to a couple events, smaller, base campy type events or whatever, the mini things that people do around the country. And we've done a couple in California and we've spoke together. And so it's been really fun, the kind of playful back and forth that we have. So it would be fun to do something together for sure. What's stopping me from quitting my job? So many things, right? Like I'm the main breadwinner for our family. I carry the health insurance for our family. We have a 10% 403B match at my company. We have a pension at my company. We have a lot of things that Zaya would have to contribute a lot more to our family before I could consider something like leaving my profession. And I do love it. I do. And my boss actually has realized how much I love this other aspect of things. And I now have Fridays off. I now end my clinic at 2:30. I now have a lot of accommodations that are made for me. So a lot of things have changed to keep me. And so the pot just keeps getting sweeter and still getting paid for full time at my day job and still having 45 days of vacation and still like pretty much, very autonomous in everything I do that. at this point, my salary would have to be, at least probably tripled for me to consider it, just because of a lot of the benefits that I get through my work. They just have very, very good benefits. I do have a very high patient satisfaction rating. Some of them don't like me though, because I tell them that they're not doing good enough with their home exercise programs, and they better get their ass moving, or they're gonna hate their total knee.
Funny.
So,
All right, Jill, we'll let you get back to your family. If you do write a book or start a podcast, we're going to be your first subscribers and first people to buy that book. So thank you so much, Jill. You are wonderful. All right, guys. Have a
awesome.
great night.
Thank
Thanks,
you
everyone.
guys. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.